When you are the biggest star, you've got to aim high, you've got to shine bright, and that's exactly what Mercedes Monet plans to do. She wants to main event All In as she declares herself the Beyonce of the wrestling world. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. I've never really heard anyone describe Mercedes Monet as the Beyonce of wrestling. Maybe the horse face of wrestling, or maybe the Hogan of current women's wrestling. That don't work for me, brother. But yeah, not the Beyonce. But that seems to be what Mercedes Monet is describing herself, the Beyonce of professional wrestling, the biggest star in professional wrestling, not just women's wrestling, in all of pro wrestling.
It's just a ridiculous take that into. I mean, the biggest star in all professional wrestling. These
biggest
people,
star, shining bright.
I mean, it's just factually incorrect. But you know what? Know why I can almost more accept it from an AEW perspective, right? And this isn't me being an AEW fanboy, because I can't stand it. But do you not agree in the sense that they keep kayfabe a lot more, and you feel like they're actually speaking from character? Well, in WWE, they break it every 3 seconds, whether it's interviews or pressers. I feel
no, that's true. I would say when an AEW person does it, not all of them, but I think a lot of them, it's like hard to... It's hard to differentiate between, here, is that the character Mercedes Monet, or is that the person?
Yeah.
Now, you could argue that Mercedes Monet is an arrogant fucker, that,
yes.
You know, and that plays perfectly into her character anyway, but, I mean... No, I think that's right, man. I mean, well, just Toni Storm for an example alone.
Yeah,
seen a lot of people, by the way, giving Toni Storm praise on our channel, saying that they checked her out for the first time and that they enjoy her character and that she's by far the best thing in women's wrestling today. Don't worry, guys, we've been saying this for about a year now, well over a year, despite a lot of arseholes just not knowing what they're talking about, talking out their arse, really, saying that she's not, saying that she wouldn't be in the top 20 in WWE, so we'll accept your apology anytime you're ready, but I mean, if you prefer what's happening with Rhea Ripley over what Toni Storm's been doing, then you definitely need some form of help.
You do need some form of help, but we've been saying it for a long time. But you know what it is, right? And it isn't everyone that's, recently commented about the fact they've checked out, but see a lot of the people that were bashing us like months ago or whatever.
They've probably never seen it.
Yeah, and that's it.
How do you think that somebody on AEW could be better than somebody on WWE? Well, listen, the bar's never been lower for anybody in WWE. So all you need to be doing, see on AEW, all you need to be doing is not completely sucking, and there's a good chance that you're better than most things on WWE.
Absolutely.
Fucking fact.
No, absolutely. But I tell you what,
like MJF's not doing amazing stuff,
but it's better than
but
WWE.
he's better than anything on WWE. He is more interesting. That's what it is.
Like I said at the beginning, I do think in AEW there is an element of kayfabe, so I can almost accept it more when Mercedes Monet says something like this. I mean, I know some people be like, well, isn't that hypocritical? Because what about Will Ospreay? But I think when you hear Will Ospreay's interview, he's actually like openly talking about WWE and talking about like Rhea Ripley and Io Sky being
but he's like mentally fucking
he's
retarded, so it's like, I'll give him a pass.
We'll give him a pass, brother. But you know what?
Unless that's his character, unless he's doing a Eugene.
Aye.
Or a Festus or something.
Whatever, but I'll go out on a limb. I think Mercedes Monet, Toni Storm could main event All In.
I don't think it could. For the simple reason is I don't think Toni Khan would have a women's match.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm saying
I believe that
I'd rather see it over Moxley. But...
No, I think it should in terms of the ability and performance that I think they could deliver. I think they would warrant. If you put Toni Storm and Mercedes Monet in the main event All In, I'd look at it and go, you know what? I think on a performance level they're worthy of that main event. Whereas in WWE, when the women get put in the main event, it's purely to virtue signal, isn't it?
Yes.
But I just...
Tony will pay her $5 million, but he won't put her in the main event of a fake show.
Tony Khan does seem to be... he seems to like his men. Or
he
boys.
Does. It just seems written on, man, that John Moxley's going to be going into that show.
Anyway...
Arlington, Texas.
During an interview with Denise Salcedo, AEW TBS champion Monet commented on potentially being in the main event of AEW All In Texas. At one point, Mercedes also compared herself to Beyonce. She said, quote, "That's what I've been dreaming about. Main eventing All In. This is our Super Bowl. This is our biggest pay-per-view of the year. You're talking to the biggest star in all of pro wrestling, in all of women's wrestling. I put women's wrestling on the map. So to do that in Texas, well, I am the Beyonce of wrestling. End of quote. So, yeah, saying she put women's wrestling on the map. Biggest star in pro wrestling. Has the women's wrestling in AEW, has it massively taken off since Mercedes Moné joined? I think she's made the roster deeper, and I think she certainly helps. I mean, in terms of star power and name value, she definitely adds to the women's roster in AEW, but I can't sit here and credit her for all the success. I can't say that I prefer the AEW women's roster because of Mercedes Moné.
Yo, no, let's be... I think she always feels like the side attraction. See that TBS belt? I actually think it felt better when Jade Cargill had it. I think Mercedes Moné, she's like buried everybody, but she's never... It's like Toni Storm and Mariah May have constantly stole the show. I don't think Mercedes Moné has once stole the show in AEW.
I don't recall it.
I mean, yeah, she debuted and got 801. That's the last time they got those fucking numbers. But I mean, apart from that, I wouldn't even describe that as stealing the show, by the way. But I'm just not. I
think she had a couple of good matches or okay matches, but I mean, I don't recall once thinking, "Holy fuck, what a performance that was!"
What a maneuver!
We were blessed to see that, brother. Anyway, she also gave credit to AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm. She said to Fightful.com, quote, "Before I even thought about signing with AEW, I was watching Toni weeks upon weeks, and I was so captivated by her charisma, character, and presence. I think she is not only one of the best women, she is one of the best talents in the whole world. I've never seen a woman captivate a character so on demand like she does. She brings so much to AEW, and I can't wait to take all of that away from her." End of quote. So, again, Mercedes Moné, it does feel like in character almost at the end there, where she's being a heel and saying that, you know, she loves everything that Toni Storm does and she's basically going to steal it and take it all away. So, you know, elements there, I guess, of her heel character, but at the same time, I mean, would Mercedes Moné really put somebody over like that as much? But I get it, like, these people, they've got their own lives, they can't be in character 100% of the time.
Yep.
Or at least, why should they? I mean, why should someone be... I mean, you look at two people that I think have pretty much long periods where they never broke character over the years was Toni Storm and Matt Hardy when he was doing the broken gimmick.
Yeah.
But you look at it, it's like when nobody else can be bothered to fucking stay in character, then like, why should you?
That's what AEW could have over WWE. I feel like if AEW had a strict policy, if everyone keeps kayfabe to a certain point, they can always have that over WWE.
Yeah, but you're dealing with the likes of the fucking Young Bucks and shit.
No, that is but I think in the 90s, if one company flat out just like broke kayfabe every week, it would have caused problems.
Yeah.
And one company kind of did break kayfabe towards the end, and what happened to it?
I don't think Bobby Lashley's going to break kayfabe, but I can't imagine him, like, I don't know, turning up at a Pride event wearing high heels or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I think Bobby Lashley's going to keep the Bobby Lashley character.
Shelton Benjamin might, though.
Yeah.
Or Benjamin Shelton.
I think Bobby Lashley's going to keep the character in check.
He is. But, I mean...
No, but say what you want, right? I know a lot of people aren't big. See, when I look at the Hurt Syndicate, I feel like... I don't know, maybe you don't like Benjamin and whatever, but I still think I look at Benjamin and I go, that looks like a tough guy.
No, yo...
MVP, right? People can say, oh, he's slowed down. MVP does give me tough guy aura. He does.
No, he does, but Shelton Benjamin...
MVP looks like a rich dude. Seeing you see MVP, I look at him and I think, fuck, you know, he looks like a guy that could be at the clubs. He looks like a guy that could be at the promoter. He looks like the kind of guy that's back in the office making deals, I don't know, drug deals or putting a hit on somebody. I look at MVP and it kind of gives you that feeling. You know the way sometimes...
He was in jail, wasn't he?
Yeah, you know, remember you had private...
He battered Jericho as well.
I don't know, I think Jericho bottled it. Remember...
Well, there you go. He made the guy that was attempted to batter Brock Lesnar.
I'm pretty sure Jericho seen him and jumped in the elevator and started hitting the button to get away from him.
I don't know if I believe that. What? How Jericho would confront Brock Goldberg
Yeah,
and would bottle it for a guy with a walking stick? Come on.
Yeah, the thing is, so I mean, I guess Jericho could confront Brock where it's a load of people and he knows it's going to get split up.
Maybe it was just those two. Yeah.
Anyway, that's MVP's
What about
version.
MVP? What in the elevator?
Well, maybe that's it. Jericho shot himself. I don't know. Maybe Jericho was.
I'm coming.
Nobody can stop me. Anyway, that was the point. Remember, you had Private Party though, and it's like they came out with their entrance, and you just look at some people and you go, "Fuck, oh, they're playing a character."
Aye.
See, when I see MVP, he fucking looks the part.
Yes. He does. I've always liked MVP.
Like, see if MVP fucking started taking up the Godfather's Charles Wright's gimmick, I could accept it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
See if you seen the Young Bucks start doing this Godfather type character and they were coming out with hot women, you'd be like, I don't know, that's fucking phony looking. The fact is, I like MVP. Anyway, what was the point we're making? Characters.
Some people have
kayfabe.
characters, some
Aye.
people don't.
I think there's more characters, and I think kayfabe's more live in AEW.
Yep. Even if the ratings are not.
Anyway, does Mercedes Hogan deserve the main event? All In? Maybe. Will she main event All In? Unfortunately, I don't see it. I just think Tony Khan will... I think he'll go with the AEW World Championship, and that looks like that's going to be held by John Moxley to the end of
Mercedes
things.
Monet, right? Would she rather beat Toni Storm but be mid-card, or lose to Toni Storm and be main event? I think it's mid-card every day of the week.
Mid-card city, brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below, and aye, peace.